even have this very popular corporate structure right now, which is the Cayman Sandwich. Essentially, instead of having your investment directly in the operational company in Brazil, you invest in the Cayman holding that will own 100% of an LLC Delaware in the US, that will own 100% of the operational company in Brazil. But that structure will make it cheaper for emerging managers to deploy capital. It will be easier for the investors to raise capital. It will be more flexible for co-investments and so on and so forth. And that's how things change. And when the Series A investor looks at a Brazilian company right now, he will be confident and comfortable that the company raised all of its previous rounds as standard Y Combinator saves. Okay. And if that didn't happen, he will ask for the company to change the convertibles, the mutuals, and everything to safes, and then they will proceed with the conversion for a more like American familiar corporate structure.
So it's
and that changes
it's not
everything.
Brazilian style, or it's an international standard, or closer to it at least.
Exactly. And same thing happened to the investors. To be a emerging manager in Brazil, you have to essentially you will have to raise your fund in like an offshore jurisdiction, because to raise a fund within the Brazilian structures, it takes like a large pool of capital that ends up creating a hurdle for like new emerging managers trying to prove themselves as good investors.
You can't raise
you can start small. Yeah, that's the thing. Exactly. SaaSholic Fund 1 was a very small fund. It was less than $2 million. And we had like $20,000 of yearly maintenance.
That's it? I thought the Cayman structures were more expensive than that. You can do the Delaware LLC.
It will be more expensive. If you try to launch a proper fund, you will have to decide if you go to the Caymans or if you go to the Delaware structure. The funds usually are formed as limited partnerships in Delaware. And now you have a whole industry trying to bring more efficiency to this space, such as Angelis, Carta, Valban, those guys. You're automating everything. Because think from my perspective, I won't have any edge into my business if my back office is super, super well structured. I can automate everything. I should invest my time investing in great companies, providing great value to these portfolio companies, supporting them to raise more capital and to grow their revenues. That's where the edge will differentiate us from other funds. And having these ready to go structures makes our lives way more easier. And for the companies as well, so many times when I was doing angel investments, the founders ended up in a situation that was, okay, we don't have a lead investor. We have 60% of the round soft committed. The angels, they told us that if we find a lead investors, they will commit and sign everything. Otherwise, they are out. And when you are in a safe investment, like the simple agreement for future equity, when you have these instruments that work similar to a convertible, but with the problem that you don't have the option to get your money back, it's only 0 or 1. When you are in this structure, you have more flexibility to raise on the go. You want to invest $10,000, fine, sign here, wire the money. You want to invest $100,000, fine. I can have different caps, valuation caps. I can have a much more flexible structure, because I know that the guy who will decide my corporate governance will be the Series A investor. And if I don't have maturity in terms of company, if I don't have enough revenues, if I don't have a product, if I don't have anything built yet, I don't have to waste more time and my capital trying to build and draft all of these complexities. So that's a very big move for Latin American companies. And it is a thing that we are working hard to bring the same concepts and transparency to the Brazilian regulators. Like, listen, we only have upside if we change our rules and if we make it more flexible. We are fostering innovation. More companies will start from now on. And that's what the United States has taught us. Like, it works.